Hail and zealous greetings! Welcome to what will be the first video in a series that I'm titling Let's Just Create. A series where I'll be creating a character design, lore tidbit, or literally anything related to world building, providing my insights and advice for creativity, and all the while standing quite naturally against generative AI by nature of simply creating in the ways it'll never effectively replace. I'm Aether, or Ether, and today we'll be creating a character design based on one of my two favorite flowers, the rose. My other favorite is lavender, in case you were wondering. Blurp. Alright, so I did a little bit of research slash just looked up roses and stuff to try to find some inspiration for my character design. And I kind of found a lot more than I was expecting, to be honest. I didn't know that roses had so much going on when I chose them for this. But at any rate, the main takeaway that I have is that color is probably going to be the most important part of this design, because color has a lot of meaning for roses in general. So for example, this pink rose over here. One sec, it's not. What? Oh, that's the wrong thing. Don't worry, I've only been using this tablet for a year. I should only know how to use it. I've only been using it for a year and I still I don't know. Anyways, this pink one here, at least according to my research, could mean sincerity, joy, gratitude, but it can also mean femininity, feminine expression, which is funny because wow, I have a pink rose. I'm not really a femboy, but I do enjoy my feminine expression. At any rate, though, I reckon pretty much all of you could guess what the red rose means. It's kind of like the very quintessential rose. It's very common to see it. It sort of means true love and passion and commitment and that sort of stuff. And then the blue rose is interesting because technically speaking, blue roses aren't a natural color for them per se. Although you can dye a white rose, or you can genetically modify a rose to have blue pigment. But at any rate, it signifies mystery, fantasy, illusion, fairy tales, ideals, pursuit of dreams, impossibility, that sort of stuff. Which I really want to do something with the blue rose, I think, for the character design. And the main thing that I'm thinking for this design is actually a cross between the blue rose and the black rose. Because blue is very mysterious, fantastical, it's got fairy tale vibes and that sort of stuff. And then a black rose signifies evil, death, neglect, but it can also be significant of new beginnings. So I feel like just choosing two colors to base this design off of initially in the early concepting stage of it is going to be really the thing that does it. So yeah, I'm doing, I feel honestly probably these don't need to be so big. Don't mind me just rearranging the thing that I set up before the recording so that I wouldn't have to do it during the recording. There. But yeah, I'm thinking blue and black. And also in my research, I found that or at least on Wikipedia, it says that in Islamic, okay, I don't actually remember exactly, but something related to Islamic, associates it with nightingales, more specifically with the longing song of a nightingale. So I kind of want to introduce some sort of longing, or even lamentation, into this design. I feel like that works pretty well with that, so all in all we've got a pretty good base here. And on top of that, I was kind of wanting to perchance do a scythe. Wait, how do you spell scythe? I think it's S-C-Y-T-H? I don't know, but I think that a scythe would work pretty well with this. And I'm thinking maybe this character is kind of druidic. So yeah, this is pretty much the base that I have for this design. I'm gonna be honest, I don't typically do quite so much for the base of a design. Although I do like being able to take the concepts that make a design and put them into words, because it does really help to be able to know beforehand what you want to make. Like, you can have an image in your head, but at the same time the words is what paints the picture. So yeah, I'm going to try to make something that feels very much like this combination of concepts, and yeah, I'll pick back up when I have some sort of notes, I think. I guess another note that I have is roses are quite thorny, so I kind of want this design to reflect that. The thorniness works pretty well with what I have up here, you know, like the death, the sharpness of the scythe, that sort of stuff. Anyways. Oh yeah, that's looking very fairy tale. And then if I just erase that, that looks a bit more like some sort of hood. I think that this is a hooded figure, feels very mysterious, and altogether I'm picking up a very fairy tale sort of vibe, as well as Grim Reaper. You know, the imagery of a figure in a hood. I'm not going to say that this is skeletal per se, but it does give skeletal vibes. Actually, maybe. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's great. Alright, so for the pose, I went for something a little bit more almost like a dance. You know, you got all kinds of associations between dance and death, dance and mystery, that sort of stuff. And I feel like it really fits the character. I also did give them a rose because I just sort of felt like the design needed one there. Yeah, it is a bit of a feminine design. I didn't actually have any plan on whether I wanted it to go feminine or masculine, but I feel like feminine really does work with the sort of concepts that we have going on. Probably this works pretty well as like a base pose for whatever sort of cloak thing that I put on this Honestly, it's probably like a Grim Reaper or something. Although this is, well, I guess not a Grim Reaper per se, because this isn't a really grim design, all things considered. It's going to be, at least I imagine, it's my intent that it is going to be a fairly beautiful design, although it will clearly be deathly. I don't know, I really like how it's coming out though. This is a cool design, I like it a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go eat dinner and then I'll be back. But I really like how this design is turning out. I feel like it's going to be really interesting, really cool, really, yeah, just really cool. Uh, what? Okay, I'm back from my dinner. It was tasty, yummy. Immediately, I'm feeling like this corset doesn't work as well as I wanted it to. I don't know, I can try to redraw that in a bit or something. I don't know, I'll just hop back to it, I guess. Alright, I think this will about do it for the design. I kind of got into a flow and I didn't want to say anything for a while there. But I do have a few notes on what I was doing. So I made her, also I've decided this is probably a her. I've made her like kind of overgrown in a bunch of places. I did manage to get a corset that I like. I made her scythe, which is sort of meant to feel incorporated with like a rose. I'm actually just going to add a little bit of overgrowth here really quickly. Which, a thing that I did want to do with this is I did want to make it very thorny. And I did give it these thorns here. And then for the end here, it's fairly simple. It's kind of just like vines and stuff. that need thorns. And then we've just got some leaves over here. Let's see, for this pattern, I feel like it kind of ended up looking like, I don't know, a little bit almost gory is the word. Although I decided to lean a little bit out of that because that wasn't what I was going for. Because I imagine that this is like very much like a very nature-based slash plant-based Reaper character. Whether or not this character is actually like a entity of death or just some sort of forest spirit or something, isn't something that I at present know. I might have to try to write some sort of story for her or something in a future episode. But yeah, that's the character design. I imagine she is quite a cold individual, although at the same time, I wouldn't have her be evil, I would have her be sort of morally gray, like just sort of doing her duties as whatever sort of spirit or entity or other being she is. Not sure what other notes I have on the design, other than it is important to sort of know how much is too much. Like, I was going to add a bit of a design here on the corset, but at least I hope that's a corset. Let me know if I'm getting the name of that wrong. But it didn't feel right to add more visual interest there than was needed. But yeah, do let me know in the comments what this character's name should be and what you think her deal should be as well. Like, what is this entity? What does she do? That sort of stuff. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Comment your thoughts on the design or what you think I should make next time. And if you could put a little blue heart with your comment, I would love that a lot. And hope you have a great rest of your day, a good evening, a good morning, a good afternoon, whatever time you watch this at. And yeah, farewell!